Okay, think about it. Every single morning before you've even had a sip of coffee or glanced at your phone, you face a decision. And it's this one seemingly tiny choice that splits the entire world into two fiercely dedicated camps. Yep, today we are diving headfirst into the great bed debate.
So there you are. You've just woken up, you look over at those rumpled sheets, and what do? What's it gonna be? Do you pull up the covers, smooth out the pillows, and kick off your day with a little bit of perfect neatness? Or do you just walk away and leave it in all its chaotic glory? Believe it or not, this one simple move, or the lack of it, might say a whole lot more about your philosophy for the day than you'd ever guess.
And really, this is what it all boils down to. On one side, you've got people who see making the bed as the first victory in a day full of them. But on the other side, it's seen as the first major waste of time, a totally meaningless chore that's just distracting you from what really matters. So, which camp is right? Well, let's break down the arguments. All right, first up, let's make the case for order. The people who champion a tidy bed, they'll tell you this has nothing to do with looking clean for guests. Nope, this is all about rewiring your brain for success from the second your feet hit the floor. The whole argument really hangs on this one powerful idea: the keystone habit. Charles Duhigg, an author and researcher, talks about this. It's basically one small, foundational routine that kicks off a chain reaction of other good behaviors. You can think of it like the very first domino to fall. And for a lot of people, making the bed is the ultimate keystone habit. And this shows you exactly how that's supposed to work. See, you start with one tiny, totally achievable win. Just make your bed. That little surge of accomplishment makes you feel capable, right? Which then might just lead you to, I don't know, pick up those clothes on the floor. And that new sense of order gives you the mental clarity and the momentum to actually dive into your real to-do list. It all snowballs. Now here's where it gets really interesting: the payoff. Proponents of this will claim that this one simple act has some pretty massive benefits. We're talking about increased productivity, a greater sense of well-being, even reduced stress. And why is that? Well, visual clutter often creates mental clutter, so by tidying your physical space first thing, you're basically giving your mind a clean slate to work with. And to really drive that point home, look at this idea from Charles Duhigg. He basically argues that by not making your bed, you're subconsciously starting your day with a tiny failure. And that sets a precedent for the rest of the day. It's a pretty compelling case, but, it's only half the story. So now, let's flip over to the other side of the aisle. Let's talk about the case for chaos, which kicks off not with psychology, but with some pretty surprising and, let's be real, kind of gross science. Just take a look at this number: 10 million. What in the world could that possibly be? It's not the population of a city. No, it's the population of something much, much smaller and way closer to you. In fact, you're probably sharing your bed with them every single night. That's right. Your bed could be a bustling little metropolis for up to 10 million microscopic dust mites. And these tiny critters, they're a huge source of allergens. And for tons of people, that means triggering asthma and all sorts of allergy symptoms. So here's the crucial point, and this is based on a study from Kingston University. When you make your bed right away, you trap all the heat and moisture from your body under the covers, and you end up creating this warm, humid little paradise for dust mites. But an unmade bed? Well, that airs everything out. It creates a dry, hostile environment where those mites literally just dehydrate and die off. But the argument against making your bed isn't just about your microscopic roommates. There's a really powerful productivity angle here, too. Some people argue that making your bed isn't a small win at all, but actually a false sense of accomplishment, kind of like a trick you play on yourself to feel productive while you avoid doing the real work. This quote from the fitness resource Box Rope just captures that whole philosophy perfectly. The idea is, stop wasting your precious morning energy on these trivial little chores and instead channel that focus directly into your most important goals. I mean, why fluff pillows when you could be building an empire, right? So what we have here are two really compelling, but totally opposite arguments. One's about building up psychological momentum. The other is about microscopic bugs and a ruthless focus on your big goals. So let's get to a reality check and add some much-needed context here.
Okay, that whole scientific argument about dust mites, it sounds like a slam dunk for the messy bed camp, doesn't it? Well, let's poke a little hole in that theory. Is leaving your sheets in a heap really the secret weapon against allergies?
Well, not so fast. Turns out, allergy experts say the single biggest factor for dust mites isn't your bed. It's the overall humidity in your entire house.
If your home's humidity is over 50%, those little mites are going to be thriving no matter what your sheets look like. A rumpled duvet just isn't going to make that much of a difference.
So if you're genuinely concerned about dust mites, there are much more effective ways to deal with them. These are the real game changers. Getting those allergen-proof mattress and pillow covers, washing your bedding every week in hot water, and using a dehumidifier to keep the overall humidity in your home nice and low. So if the dust mite argument is, well, mostly a myth, what are we left with? It really brings us back to the heart of the matter. This whole debate was never really about hygiene. It's about how you choose to spend your focus in the first few moments of your day. It's really about your personal definition of what a productive start looks like. And this is a fantastic tool for thinking about just that. It's called the Eisenhower Matrix, and it's a super simple framework for sorting all of your tasks. You just ask 2 questions. Is this task important? And is it urgent? This little grid helps you separate the really meaningful work from the busy work that just feels productive. So here it is. This is the real question you have to ask yourself. For you, personally, where does making the bed fit on this grid? For some people, it's clearly important but not urgent. It's that vital keystone habit for their mental well-being. But for others, it lands squarely in that not important and not urgent box, a task to be deleted so they can focus on bigger priorities. And you know what? There's no wrong answer. So ultimately, this whole thing just boils down to what you're trying to optimize your morning for. Is it for that feeling of order and discipline, or is it for immediate, focused action on your biggest goals? And this right here pretty much sums up the 2 equally valid approaches. You've got the orderly start, where making the bed is a non-negotiable habit that fuels your discipline for the day. And then you've got the efficient mess, where skipping it is a strategic choice to save your energy for what truly matters. Both are totally legitimate paths to having a successful day. So the next time you wake up and you look at those rumpled sheets, just remember this. That choice you're about to make, it isn't just about being neat or messy. It's a declaration. It is a statement about what matters most to you in those first crucial moments of the day. So what's your statement going to be?